Hey guys, my name is Neel and welcome to Neel Workshop Zone. So in this episode we're going to continuing, about the topic of modules. So in the previous episode we talked about the introduction to modules, what modules are, how do you save them, what modules consist of, etc. So if you haven't checked the video out, I recommend checking them out because it contains some really important information which, without it you won't be able to understand this episode. So yeah, without any further ado, if you did watch the episode, let's talk about it. So like I said in the previous episode, I said that modules contains functions and variables. So basically, in a module, you have a lot of functions and a lot of variables. I mean, it depends on how many function variables you write, but mostly there are a lot of functions and variables. And sometimes you don't want to call every single function or variable, but you only want to write some of them. So in that case, you can use the from keyword. So for example, like I said in the previous episode, I said that import basically calls the functions inside a module or variables too, but basically import is the keyword. So what you can do is instead of just calling every single variable and every single function, you can say something like import. For example, let's say there's a simple function called name. So import name from, let's say the the module name is my module. So this is how you take out a specific function or a specific variable from the module, because sometimes you don't want to use every single function or keyword, and sometimes you just want to use single one. So by using the from, it is really useful to call it a specific function or variable from a module. Now let's talk about dir. So dir is basically the opposite of this, where imagine you want to call out every single function and variable from the module. So you can use the dir keyword. You can just write import, etc. And then you can just use the dir keyword to call out the function. You can write the function name, and it basically prints out every single function or every single variable that you have in the module. So that is how dir and that works. Now let's say that you have written the module and you want to change the name of the module. So imagine your module name is my module. Imagine you want to change my module name to Neel, for example. So the way you do it is by using as keyword. So you can write something like import my module as Neel. So by writing import my module as Neel, basically you're basically saying call the function but call it in a different way, or change the name and call it. So that is how as keyword works. It is also really helpful for renaming modules. Now let's talk about inbuilt modules. So basically, you create modules based on your own functions and variables, but sometimes there are some inbuilt, modules too. For example, there is a module called platform. So for example, if you want to know the platform of the laptop that you're working on or computer, you can write something like import platform, and let's say print print platform. By doing that, you get the output of which platform you are working on. Like for example, if you're working on a Windows laptop or Windows computer, it will say yes, you're working on a Windows. If you're working on an Apple, then it will say you're working on a Mac, etc. So that is how inbuilt modules work. So these are the basic type of modules, the main types of modules and types of modules. So yeah, those are basically it. So hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out any new videos. And that's all folks, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.